Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're back with Norsca, and today's one of those days that you bring a certain type of build and you hope your opponent doesn't bring something, and then you look across the field and they brought exactly what you didn't want them to bring. So let's take a look at the build here. I've got Throg leading the way, nice Death Star of Norscan Ice Trolls here. We're going to be using that Witchertooth Crown to help buff their leadership, of course makes them unbreakable for 24 seconds, and since Trolls generally have terrible leadership, it will definitely help them out. He's also got the Fight or Die, Copious Vomit. Frost Trolls themselves have better stats than regular Trolls, more armor. They also have Frostbite, and they're even weaker to fire. Minus 45% fire weakness, which is just absolutely insane. Got a front line of Marauders in the center with Marauder Champions out on the flanks. The Champions, in particular, are quite good in this matchup. 80 armor, solid melee defense, just overall very good unit. We've also got Shaman Sorcerer, Lore of Fire, a Feral Manticore, and you guys may be wondering what this is all about. Actually, after having watched that game I casted by Halo the other day, and also recently playing some games of my own, I've actually figured out that the Manticore with the recent cost reduction is actually a decent tool to bring in certain matchups, so we went ahead and got a Feral Manticore here. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Looks like Marauder Horsemen with throwing axes on the side. For the Dwarves here, we've got Miners with blasting charges up front. Going to be pitching said charges right off the bat. Organ Gun. We've got Trollhammer torpedoes, 2 of them, 2 Iron Drakes, and Dwarf Warriors, Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. We've also got Brimstone Guns. Brimstone Guns, blasting charges, the Flamethrower Iron Drakes all do fire damage, obviously, whereas these Trollhammer torpedoes do insane anti-large armor piercing. Fire Sorcerer was getting wrecked there, but we go ahead, send in the Distraction Manticore, and pull up a Flame Storm right on top, and it's going to basically delete this entire unit of the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass here, as well as doing a ton of damage to these Iron Drakes that I had initially casted on there. Granted, Manticore's being flamed in the face by some Iron Drakes there. Iron Drakes are also blasting some Marauders in the center, so it's not great. The Trolls have been taking some heat from those gyros. We've managed to see one off with the Marauders with throwing axes there. Throg and the Troll Boys going to get in here. We use the Wintertooth Crown to make sure none of them round. We're just going to path straight on through and try and get into the cookie jar, do as much armor-piercing damage as we can, so we're just pushing straight on through. Unfortunately, the leadership of the Trolls is going to give out immediately. You can see once that Wintertooth Crown drops, they pretty much all right away route off, leaving Throg over by himself. Unfortunately, the Flamestorm does die out just as it's about to hit those Miners, but still racked up quite a few kills, basically deleted that Regiment of Renown there, up to 40 kills for the Shaman Sorcerers, so not too bad considering that you're using, I was using it against a faction that's resistant to magic, slightly, a little bit there, but still, very good results I have to say. Been using it a bit, you guys will see it probably in a couple more replays coming up, but the Iron Drakes themselves, back on station here. I'm trying to use the Chariot's Shaman Sorcerer to kind of disrupt this back line. It's tricky though. If these Trollhammers in particular can get a beat on him, they'll do a ton of damage to him. A little bit of friendly fire there on the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, who had regrouped. Only 36, less than half the unit remaining there, with very little HP as well. The Champions are going to be really carrying the day here out on the flanks though. You can see they're tied up with some Dwarf Warriors, some Miners, trading very cost effectively, kind of zoning this area out. These 2 Trolls are going to rally, and we're going to bring them back over to support this group of Champions, which so far has racked up an XP chevron. Another group of Champions actually not been involved in the fight at all so far. Going to come in completely fresh at this point, full health, fresh on vigor. Going to come in here and support Throg in this engagement. We're going to try and push Throg through, actually. Looks like we can go after the units in the back line. The Feral Manticore, unfortunately, tried to dive down in here and play with the Iron Drakes more, at least distract them for a little bit. But the Horsemen getting flamed, so we're going to go ahead and pull them back there. Meanwhile, the Trolls are coming through and just trying to get on these Trollhammer torpedoes. You know, they're clearly not happy about these torpedoes here, so those Ice Trolls, man, very scary. With the organ guns firing point blank in here, trying to get some effective fire, but they'll get a couple shots. Looks like they actually took one down there, but yeah, the champions are going to get in here and start to clean up these artillery pieces, generate some great value as this back line's just not able to be protected anymore. You know, the fire was definitely on the table. Unfortunately, there weren't any slayers, but Throg's going to come through, drop another Wintertooth Crown on the remaining trolls here as they get flamed in the face. Oh man, Throg just breathes right on him. Not real happy about that, but take an overarching look here. The balance power actually not looking great for Norsca up until that point. Just now starting to shift back into the favor of Norsca here. My troll horde, as it is, doing quite well. Belegar now matched up directly against Throg. Belegar is more of a defensive character. He's pretty tanky, but dives straight through Throg's belly there. Crazy little headbutt action. But the champions, again, mostly not touched, going to be able to chase off a lot of these very low health Dawi units here. The fear from the trolls definitely helps as well. They cause fear. Unfortunately, they don't cause terror, but like Throg, the ice trolls all do cause fear as well. Throg kicking Belegar around a little bit. We're going to get the champions, some more regrouped marauders in here to support, take out the last of the warriors of Dragonfire Pass, as Throg turns his attention to Belegar once again and just whomps him there, sending a few of his champions tumbling on the way. And yeah, Marauder Horsemen just being used to try and chase off some of these regrouping dwarves here. The Iron Drakes, with their low model count and high leadership, are pretty hard to rout off, all things considered, with light cavalry. So we're going to go ahead and just pull away, try and chase some of the units that are actually routing, bring the trolls around to do some real deal damage here. Ooh, man, that Iron Drake just got smashed there. That one too. Oh man, those trolls are just cleaning them up right now. Pretty rough stuff. Another unit of Iron Drakes, though, back online here, flaming up Throg. Throg's not in the greatest situation, a little bit caught out here. The gyrocopters, of course, do fire damage, and Throg is, of course, weak to fire. Only 25% for him, whereas the actual ice trolls are a lot weaker, but Belegar are going to be able to hold him in place here. Throg really not happy about the fire damage, going to go ahead and rout. The remaining gyros will be able to finish him off there. Bit unfortunate for me, but we're far enough ahead on the balanced power at this point. Chased off a whole bunch of units, finished off most of the Iron Drakes in various points. You can see Throg goes down there, so yeah, fortunately I didn't quite have enough throwing axes to finish off the gyros. These gyros still have quite a bit of ammo there, dropping some bombs on the horsemen as well, getting some good damage done. But, ooh, maybe we can drag down one more unit model. Nope, looks like they use up the last of their ammunition. Take another bomb to the face there. But at this point, the champions are just going to be too much for these tattered dwarves to deal with. You know, Belegar himself will get dragged down by the champions over time just because there's so many of them left, relatively fresh. I mean, these guys are very tired, granted. These guys are also very tired, but all of the dwarves are pretty much going to be very tired, interesting. Belegar is exhausted, unfortunately, though, and the gyros likely are as well. No, only tired. Interesting. Never understood how gyros could get tired. Maybe it's like they're actually running out of gas, or, I don't know, having maintenance problems or something. It's a bit odd, but anyway, let's try not to think about it too much. They really ought to create like a mechanical classification for units for like gyros, like the steam tank, that they wouldn't ever tire. I think that would definitely make sense, but yeah, you can see the troll hammers hammering the trolls there as the champions close the gap here. They're going to finish things off. Marauder Horsemen coming in as well, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll fast forward a little bit through this late game as I clean up these troll hammers. It's the Shaman Sorcerer had regrouped there, but got seen off by the gyros. At this point, though, we're just chasing down Belegar. My opponent's going to try and use up the last of his ammunition there, but yeah, Belegar, unfortunately, is going to get ground down. He's very low at this point, and the gyros, once the gyros start to go down, like they start to lose their unit models, that'll probably hit critical army losses here, so we'll soak up a few more cinematics of Belegar wading through the champions here, hammering them in the face. The gyros trying to blend up some of these guys here as the champions, you know, pull them apart with their bare hands, basically. And with the gyros gone, you can see army losses getting much closer. Belegar losing decisively, just can't stand up to a pretty high stat unit like this that has so many models left, so yeah, he gets routed, and with that, it's going to be army losses. So very well played to my opponent. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. Super fun battle. You know, fire and flames, definitely. Ice and fire as well. You know, all the fire, all the flames. Flame storm. You know, we've got the Iron Drakes unloading there. The brimstone guns, blasting charges. You know, all the fun stuff with the ice trolls. Pretty good overall. I'd have to say, in terms of the build, the champion's definitely carrying the flanks there. I was pretty happy with the way that deployment ended up playing out. I wasn't exactly sure how it was going to work out, putting the champions out on the flanks and having the center be weaker, but it ended up working that, you know, the center was able to hold long enough that we did some decent damage. You know, that flame storm came in, did a ton of damage, 46 kills. That chariot was also able to kind of bog down the backline for a while as well. Trolls didn't end up actually getting that many kills at the end of the day, but the Marauder Horsemen, on the other hand, able to kind of sit back, and because a lot of the ranged units were focused on the Trolls, the Marauder Horsemen actually ended up getting some really good work done. 52 kills in particular on this unit of Marauder Horsemen, not bad at all. And the Champions, of course, 106, 125 for these guys with 3 XP chevrons. That's some serious work done. Yeah, the sword and board, I guess axe and board, technically Champions. Quite good in this matchup, I find. You know, typically I would recommend layering them with Famir, but decided to go with a bit more of a fun build this time, and you would think this build had all the right counters, but you know, unfortunately it just wasn't quite enough in the end. The Trollhammer torpedoes, though, did get some good work done, some XP chevrons to go around there. Despite the low kill count, they got some good work done against the Trolls. The organ guns also got some pretty decent work done, 56 and 38. I don't know exactly what chevron level these guys were at. I can't quite remember. But this one, at least, I know gained a chevron through the course of the battle. The Warriors of Dragonfire Pass getting deleted by that Flamestorm, though, definitely highlighted the battle for me. And yeah, overall, I have to say I'm pretty happy with the new Flamestorm. I've been using it. It seems to, while it doesn't suck up cavalry models or like models that can't be knocked down, it still does a ton of damage, and it lasts a really, really long time. The fact that it can now pick up infantry models as well means that it might actually be a spell you occasionally use against factions that you think might potentially blob up a little bit, but we might have some more replays coming up with Flamestorm soon, so stay tuned for that. If you guys enjoyed this battle, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.